the graveyard can open to a man, yet the man be alive physically. Oh, you know, yeah. A man can pass through the gate of graveyard and the man can be alive physically. That means that the man has passed through the gate of graveyard, and the gate of graveyard has opened the access of death, just that it has not yet come to the man. So whenever a man gets to a level where he contacts graveyard, that man gets connected to death. Now, the most dangerous thing you should pray against is not death. You know, many times people pray against the spirit of death, the spirit of death. Don't you know that the one who issues the spirit of death is the hell or the graveyard? Whenever the graveyard opens, whenever the graveyard moves, death has no choice. Are you listening to me? Now let's read this thing. Isaiah 14 verse 9. He said, the hair from beneath. Now, you did not get this. From beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirred up the death for thee. Now, what is he trying to say here? He's saying that hell first is moved from hell to meet the man. Somebody's not getting me here. So the spirit of the graveyard can move and meet you. And when the spirit of graveyard moves to meet you, it stirs up death. Not getting me here. So death might not be willing to come to you, but when the spirit of the graveyard moves, death rushes to come. It stirs him up. Like, I have to come to this guy early. So many of you have not encountered death, but many of you have encountered graveyard unaware. You don't get me here. Many of you, the graveyard has come to you unaware, but you have not met death yet. But the funny thing is that if you have encountered the graveyard, you don't know. But if you encounter death, everybody will know because you die.
Wow. Wow.
So the graveyard is like an invisible spirit that stirs up death against you. But it's very difficult to spot the graveyard. But it's so easy when you die. People know you die. Many people walking in this world right now has encountered graveyard. They have not yet died, but their time to be on earth has been limited. Because when you encounter graveyard, you what? You stir up death. So you need to pray. I pray for you. May the Lord grant you the eyes to see the graveyard opening and closing. May you have the ability to battle the graveyard in the name of Jesus. See, when the graveyard does not move, death is far from you. Death is far from you. There are people, let me tell you, why people have dreams and you see somebody who has died, they meet the person again. Do you know there are people that die? That die, but those people can open the gates of hell for you. When I talk about the gate of hell, I mean Shoel. That is graveyard. Are you listening to me? So if somebody dies, the person can actually open the gates for you.
Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. Let the wicked be ashamed. Let them be silent in the grave.
Let me not be ashamed, O Lord, for I have called upon thee. The kind of people that have the power to resist the spirit of grave or the graveyard is people. They are people that call upon the Lord. You see, no matter what happens, don't stop calling on the Lord. See, many of us, we stop calling on the Lord based on circumstances. And because of that, even the destiny we are supposed to fulfill, we don't fulfill them. Because at the end, the graveyard spirit begins to have power over us. See, the only stance this psalmist had against the graveyard spirit is that he called upon the Lord. And he said, because of that, let me not be ashamed. And the Lord will surely answer him. Because he has called upon the Lord. The moment you stop calling upon the Lord, you begin to open the gate for the graveyard spirits. Can I teach you something?
Teachers.
The moment you stop calling upon the Lord. So the people that have stopped calling upon the Lord, many of them you are seeing now, you think they are alive. Many of them has entered into the grave. And it has stirred up deaths. So if that person is supposed to die at the age of 200, the person will die at the age of 50. That person is supposed to die at the age of 100, the person will die at the age of 21. Because the person fails to call upon the name of the Lord. To call upon the Lord. When you call upon the Lord, the way you should call upon him, the Lord begins to cover you from the wicked spirit of the graveyard.